Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
Just to remind everybody that language usage and content that we provide here may be disturbing, disgusting, probably will be and should be. Words like bloody custard and words that rhyme with that may be featured. Actually will be featured. In fact, perhaps will only be featured. Just warning you. Yes, this show is brought to you by Wow Tables.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Cyrus Says, we look back at the year 2015 and a little bit of 14, lots of 2011 and a mention of 2002. Amit, Doshi, our producer, the visionary entrepreneur, as well as May, the beautiful radio jockey and now podcaster who runs our business surreptitiously at night between 7 and 9 when she chews on a burger and doesn't offer me a bite. Cyrus Says, the whole year in a minute.
Cyrus says, we have other shows too. You should check them out.
Hi, this is Anand Bhaskar from the Anand Bhaskar Collective on Made in India with May.
Made in India is India's first indie music podcast hosted by May Thomas. You can find it on indusvox.com or subscribe to it on your favorite podcasting app.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Okay, SS was a terrible term in 1940s Germany, but even worse term now because it's Secret Santa. And I can't bear the concept of a Secret Santa. It's come from the West and it has to stay there. And let me tell you my problem with Secret Santa. Because if you put a cap on how much money you can spend on gifts, you waste everybody's time. And secondly, if I choose for you, I think it's always going to go wrong. It's like deciding the food for somebody you don't even know. It's absolutely the most stupid idea I've ever thought of. Now let me explain. My good friend Kunal Vijayekar is a man of great taste and expenses, and he wants a generator as a present which costs 4 lakhs. Okay, I want a packet of masala chips. So people are different. You must understand, you can't just sit there and say, okay, 200 rupees each, go and get gifts. It doesn't work. Alright, get your own gift, leave me alone, leave other people alone. Christmas is about being alone. Try and get the spirit of Christmas. Stay alone, do things that don't bother your neighbor. No more Secret Santas. Unless they are really hot young girls wearing clothes, a beard optional. It's called Cyrus Says.
Cyrus says, ad breaks are beneficial to your mental health.
This show is brought to you by Wow Tables. I spoke to Kunal and Deepa, the founders, about Wow Tables. Now tell us, what does it entail completely? How can we save money? We're Indians. We're not interested in anything else but how we can save money and enjoy a good meal.
So we've got curated dining experiences at some of the nicest restaurants in several cities in India now.
Okay.
And apart from the fact that we guide you into what to order and what to not, we also help you save at least 30 to 50% on that.
What are you saying? 30 to 50% on a meal?
That's right.
I'm in. Count me in. I eat a lot. You better be careful. Don't want to break the
And you get to have multiple courses.
Oh, so you can tell I eat a lot, huh? Deepa, that's very rude. It was not necessary. That was mean. Visit wowtables.com to book an experience and use the code Cyrus Says to get 500 rupees off on your first reservation. I repeat, 500 rupees off. That's 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus another 100. Yeah, that's right.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Welcome to a show which is called Cyrus Says because of my large ego and large torso. Actually, torso is no larger than the ego. That's a bit of a problem. I have to catch up. But today is a day for congratulations to Amit Doshi, our producer, a man of great vision, a man who came back from America because of a visa issue. Same thing that Orlando Bloom faced in Delhi. But he was happy to go back to London because he saw Delhi for 2 minutes and said, please, on the plane.
You know, I've actually had that issue, like literally.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually thrown out like in 98.
From where?
From Bombay, 2001.
Why?
I let my visa. So I was born in the US, so I have a US passport.
So you're a US citizen?
And I let my visa expire. And so I had to go back to the US to get it renewed.
Wow. But Amit, what the people are asking out there is, if you're a US citizen, why the hell did you come back? Inheritance?
No inheritance, no family money,
Start
no
a political
land,
party?
no nothing of that sort.
Father Bollywood producer? What is the reason? It doesn't make sense.
I wanted to live in India, man.
Yeah, so let's get back to your story. I was interrupted rudely by yourself because it's your show and you own it. But as producer, visionary and entrepreneur, long ago, about 6 months back, you decided to come up with this great concept of podcast. And you think podcast is the future and you think probably are right. And we are now on the 50th web podcast podium.
50th episode.
Explain what it is.
It's an episode.
It's an episode. And May, you've joined us as well. 50. We have 50 today.
I know. Oh.
So,
You're old now, Cyrus.
Yeah. So all this talk about organs failing and all, now it's serious. So if you're listening to the podcast and suddenly you don't hear us talking, you know what happened. 50. He had a good run, but we had to put him to sleep. Before he put you to sleep, because that's what we do sometimes. Yeah, but 50, how do you feel? As a Miss India?
Good. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I mean, like, it feels good to see. I'm looking forward to, like, writing that post, episode 50.
Wow, that's superb, actually. That's a sense of achievement.
It is.
The only time I think it sucks is when you actually turn 50 years of age. Because then, you know you're on the wrong side of the whole deal.
That is,
It's like 6 years left if you're in India, Delhi 4 because of small, China 2.
By the way, I turned a big age recently.
Oh, nobody cares me. This is a male-dominated society. You know that.
You're so mean.
I'm so mean. I'm sorry. You were saying.
I know how much you love women.
I love women. I'm scared of women.
What are you talking about?
I'm not gay, but I'm scared of women. Because like I said, I tell everyone, my mother and my wife and now my dog, Mary, they're all alpha, and my daughter. All alpha females.
I totally get that.
And the alpha female is much more ferocious than the alpha male. Check with chief ministers in this country. I'm telling you, honestly, the alpha female, because see, you have to rise against all the men. Think of
course,
it.
absolutely.
You're a woman in this, it is a male-dominated world. It's a disgusting world. And the women who come out on top, forget the pun, actually have to destroy these huge male personalities. So their power and their shakti, if you can use the right phrase, is unbelievable. So if you have alpha females around, trust me, the alpha male just crumbles. He becomes a waiter.
Yeah.
And there's no disrespect to waiters. It's a great profession. Only sometimes waistcoats, I don't know. I don't think you need that anymore. Right. So guys, 50, let's be happy.
Yeah, very happy.
The only energy is me.
Very happy.
Amit, you're depressed, you're crying, you're like a Miss India who lost.
I am thrilled.
Now, the Miss World. How does that happen?
Crap,
It's a Miss Universe contest. They've got 47 cameras, millions of dollars.
That was amazing.
That guy has only one job and he crowned the wrong Miss Universe. He went to Miss Columbia. Yeah. He put it on her. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Universe 2015, Miss Columbia. She celebrates. She hugs her friend. Her mother and father are jumping and having a coitus in the bedroom because they remember this is how she was born. And then he says, oops, sorry, it's Philippines. So he takes it off. It's like a bakra. He takes it off her, and there's a shot. You guys have to see the shot. Please go and download this incident. It's there. You can see it. It's about 15 seconds. He for about 8-9 seconds, and then he pulls it off, and then her face. Because they've taken away the crown. So for 8 seconds she was Miss Universe, and now she's back to Miss Columbia. And they're going to check up her drugs when she gets back home.
I know. It was horrible.
It was
horrible.
Awful.
It's like one of the most awkward things I've ever seen, right? I mean,
but her face is, it's really almost black humor.
Sad,
but
man,
you got to look at it. Because it's like she's destroyed. Man. It's like somebody expired. She went from ecstasy, Sushmita Sen kind of look, to absolute like somebody died. You got to see it. There's no way you can act.
You know what though? I mean, like it's a very. I mean, like considering what the world is today. I mean, like she might actually come out of this really, really okay because it's not like Miss Universe means anything big in that sense, right? It's more about getting yourself out as like a personality, a celebrity, that kind of thing.
On top of that, this is huge. You're working towards this. Like,
Miss
Universe doesn't happen on one day.
No.
You have like worked towards like winning a pile of pageants to get.
She has had to handle stand-up comedians doing drug jokes because her country is Colombia for the last 10 years. All these slurs and stereotypes. She shook it off for 8 seconds by becoming Miss Universe and part of the Star Wars collection. Chewbacca, second runner-up. Han Solo, first runner-up. Me winner. And then suddenly it's all gone back to Miss Columbia. Same jokes again. Think about what she's going through.
Yeah, that is.
I called her up, and of course, as usual, no reply. But I guess she's crying. It's not the right time.
I would think so. Yeah, she's. No, it's not bad.
If it happened to Miss India, by the way, guys, if it was a Miss India who won Miss Universe, it would be huge news. Let me tell you.
Right.
Oh, it'd be all
with due respect to Colombia, they're not as powerful a country as they should be, but we would have gone berserk. We'd have stopped. India would have closed down. For 48 hours, we'd have said, strike, nobody eat, all look like models.
Is Miss Universe owned by Donald Trump, or is that one of the other
not
pageants?
anymore. I think it's owned by some... May will know this because she took part.
Was it Murdoch, isn't it?
Yeah, you take your time, half an hour to get to the point, by which time they have a contest.
I know Donald Trump owned one of those pageants at some point.
He did, and he took part twice. Himself.
And I'm sure
lost in the swimsuit round for obvious reasons.
Hope so.
But what conditioner? For me, this guy is all about shampoo and conditioner. I could do a whole show just discussing that.
Do you think his hair is real?
I don't care. I just think it's fascinating that a man with so much money and so much on his mind can spend so much time with his hair.
But do you think it's real, though? I mean, it looks to me like it's some sort of there's something.
What do you mean by real? Now,
it looks like there's something stuck on over there.
It's a difficult thing to say, but maybe the last woman he's been with. Okay, you know what I mean. Moving on. This is a retrospective sort of show. We're looking at the whole year, guys, and hence Amit, you've been brought in not just for the 50th, and May, you've been brought in. Let me act like I'm deciding things for a second. Nobody believes that. Alpha females at home. I wear the apron and nothing else, and high heels sometimes. And I squat when I do that. That's because they like that angle.
I love it when you squat.
They shoot me from below for some reason. So let's look at the year and topic number 1.
Politics? Should we talk about the Achhe Din and
yes, looking back,
all of the...
It's been 1.5 years now?
It's been
2014 May.
And a half, yeah.
So, Achhe Din, May, what do you feel? Is it a false dawn? Is it are you thinking nothing's happening? Or are we being too critical also?
I don't know. I think I've reached this point where I think everyone's getting really, really cynical. I don't think it honestly
even
matters
I feel
who
that.
is in power right now.
Yeah,
we're going to be trashing this either way.
Right.
But I think every step of the way we're getting to this point where anything that they do is just going to be met with sarcasm.
Are we becoming too negative?
I think
forget my high falsetto on that sentence.
No, but I think you're right. I think you're right about that. There is the sense of negativity around every single thing.
To jump into the negative angle.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't think, like, these guys are the greatest people ever. I mean, but at the same time, it's not.
But from the Vedic period, they have been the greatest people that we've studied.
But I mean, that we have studied, right? I mean, like, when you study deeply, then you get into other things.
This class shows about research and studying. We don't just off the fly come here, take off our clothes and start talking. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but there are rules in our club. There are rules,
Really?
No, so coming back to him, the man, he was like the great revival, let's call it.
Right.
Okay, after the Congress's coma. And it was a coma for 10 years, nothing really happened. But on the one side, are we just jumping the gun? We give him a full 5 years. I mean,
there was always
does he travel too much? Let's look at the criticisms.
None of us give anyone a chance like any politician. You never give them 5 years to sort them. They give them 3 months. And if you haven't sorted
but
something
it's a 2020 generation. That's the fact of the matter. If our shows don't sell, we get them off the air. It's like
but
that.
The issues are difficult. The issues are intractable. They're not that simple to do, right? So I mean, like, the idea that you expect performance immediately.
92% of the time, and he shops so much. Look at the bags when he comes back. I mean, come on.
Matter so much. I mean, like, again, that's one of the things that we talk about a lot, and we joke about it, and we joke about it. That's fine, right? But I mean, like, the fact that he travels abroad, is that really such a big deal?
But it gives fodder to the opposition, because the fact is that while he's abroad, okay, we're not saying that abroad is not a good thing. Because he's going to the big countries and commerce and trade is hopefully happening.
Yeah, it is happening.
Signatures, MOUs are happening.
It absolutely
and money will be made. That's the bottom line. Who cares about anything else?
Right.
We do want to help the children, but come on.
Well, to help the children, you need money.
There you go. So the thing is, the biggest problem is the fodder for the home opposition is that he's not there. He doesn't say anything. It's almost like he's invisible.
No, see, that's a bigger
controversy.
problem.
From Sushma Swaraj's Lalit Modi issue, if you remember, back in the day, to chief ministers making ridiculous comments where he's not said anything, to the RSS fringe raising he gets said every 3 days, to the intolerance debate, which now has got a lot of fuel whether you like it or not.
No, but I think that's a big problem, right? The way that he is communicating, for somebody who came up as such an effective communicator, such an effective orator.
PR for the election was faultless.
It was, but now it seems like, he can't get out of his own way, right? I mean, like, there's no reason for stuff to fester the way it is. He gives people opportunities where it's not necessary to give them opportunities to.
So should he spend more time at home?
I don't know if
that's the infantile reaction.
No, I don't think. What is he doing? Like, what? Like, are you?
What is he doing? I can't call him and ask him.
No, in the sense of, what are you achieving? Like, right now, like, everything that's like hit the limelight is stuff like the beef ban and whatever it is, and it's all these things that seem so petty, and you're like, there's so much going on here. What are you doing?
Right.
Even if you look at Swachh Bharat, for example.
Right. Yeah. Like, and may I say, India is a cleaner place. All laugh collectively. Moving on.
But just, it literally is just like smoke and mirrors. Like, there's nothing, there's no substance.
See, we can't blame him for every fault in India. For example, the Delhi debacle that's going on right now, as we record this, with Arvind Kejriwal having no power and behaving like an infant child, throwing a tantrum, with, Jaitley coming under fire, using small issues like DDCA in the fullness of India. Who cares about the bloody DDCA? But it's becoming a big issue. Sometimes I'm wondering if the negative politics is just too much. It's an Indian thing. No, but the crab mentality, pull people down all the time. Is that what's happening?
That's exactly it, right?
They keep asking us, are you happy with the tolerance level, etc., etc. We have a show which luckily nobody watches, but it's a satire of sorts. I must say, nobody's clipping our wings. Nobody said anything.
Right.
So we feel the water and we go out there. Stand-up comedians are doing well. There's shows everywhere. Of course, they're all ugly, but that's beside the point. So are we just jumping the gun here? Are we jumping the gun?
I think
it's not that bad.
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, like, I think that we are to an extent, right? But I mean, like, the sense of disappointment was always going to be there, right? I mean, like, the way that they came into power and the promises that they made, and, like, the enthusiasm that their fans had, there was always going to be a sense of disappointment because it's simply not realistic.
And it's not a homo-genus country.
Right.
So if you look at it from that point of view, there's so many factions and lobbies. If America has problems, we have 50 times America.
Exactly.
It's so different in every part and every little thing, from class to caste to community. I mean, all the C's in the world. So having said that, I think it's a damn tough job. I don't want it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
As a young man, I do my dad Prime Minister. That's what I'm going to be. By my third birthday, I changed it.
Yeah,
I said Foreign Minister. I think that's the fun wrong gig.
It's an impossible job.
Seychelles,
There's no way to win.
what a nice country. Let's unite with Seychelles and do trade. We'll sell them swimsuits. They'll sell us what, shells? What do Seychelles have? With due respect to anyone in Seychelles listening to this podcast, I have no idea.
Yeah. No, but so I mean, like again, when you look at what they're some of the issues that come up, right? So it's the petty stuff that we're seeing so much, like this intolerance debate, the beef ban.
But now let's play devil's advocate. I think we've been siding with the government for a second. Amit, at the end of the day, you can't have writers dying all the time. Or you can't have writers from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Because that means you're not looking at one type. You can't have people from different languages and backgrounds all saying that, hey, hello, we're not happy. These are writers. They're intellectuals. Give them some respect.
Of course.
The common thread is their art. That's it.
Yeah, no, so to ascribe motives is also like bullshit, right? I mean, that's what and that's a big part of what the government's response has been, that these guys are politically motivated. They're not necessarily politically motivated. They feel that there is an issue, which is why they're expressing that issue.
I think clearly what happens is that when you have a certain right-wing fringe, then the bad elements in that may exploit a situation feeling more powerful, which will happen anywhere in the world. If the Republicans come to power, there would be perhaps more backlash against, say, Arab Americans. You know, it's a possibility to put two and join the knots and dots and all that.
Absolutely.
But having said that, I think he should come back and talk a little bit. He should talk in Parliament. He doesn't talk enough.
He does that Mann Ki Baat and that's it.
Yeah.
And then Mann Ki Baat is like a lecture.
Yeah, it is.
What's the point of a lecture? Have a to and fro. It's a democratic process. When I run my building, let me tell you, all 12 members come. And then what I do is I put them 40 feet away so that when I talk, I can't hear them. But they talk back. You see, so I'm just asking for token gesture. Because democracy is all about tokenism.
He has to say something, and the fact that he's not saying anything will obviously bother everyone.
You can't rule the country from abroad. The British tried that. It failed. Okay? You gotta come here. All I'm saying is that no one's against him. I think for commerce, we all thought this is the man, and there's 3 years to go, and he may still be the man. But we need to just keep everybody a little happy. I think it just means touching people on the shoulder and saying, "Beta, theek hai. Don't worry, all good." Whether you're Hindu, Muslim, German, French, okay, German, French, maybe not, but if you're Hindu, German, then you're okay.
Are we going to start like a campaign? Modi, come home.
I've been saying it from the beginning, but it's Lalit Modi who's trying to come home more. He's the one who's more interested in coming back here and running the IPL. And I think we've exhausted politics.
I think we should go to cricket since you brought Lalit Modi up.
Should we? Yeah. What a nice segue. Beautifully
done.
Go,
man.
You see? The host with the most. I'm Jimmy Kimmel's father. I'm going to tell you. All right. So, cricket, it's been a good year for us, more or less. I think it started a little badly, the World Cup, only the semi-finals. But I felt semi-finals in Australia not so bad.
Yeah, no, they were...
on wickets where we're supposedly not so comfortable, alien conditions, blah, blah, blue, so not so bad.
Yeah, no, it was a decent performance.
Yeah, and I think too much Dhoni bashing happened at that point. He's the lion in winter.
That's the same kind of thing with politics.
Bang on
negativity.
The negativity. And the jumping to attack a guy if he's slightly down.
No, and also the belief in the Indian cricket watching public that the other team is just there to lie down for us.
There you go.
They don't come to compete. Yeah. They don't plan to win. They have just come to they have come there to lose to India. That's their job.
Really. Yeah. Ever since we won that 83 World Cup by mistake, and I stress by mistake, I think the expectations sometimes are ridiculous with people who don't really look at the game. Yeah. There are pitches, conditions, opposition, time, date, somebody's pregnant. Think about all these things variables that come into a match. Any sport for that matter. Yeah. And unfortunately, is it a subcontinental thing? We didn't win. Nobody cares about why. Yeah. How come we didn't win? We didn't win because they have faster bowlers, better fielders. We have many old cricketers. There's so many reasons. God, really. In fact, we have a comment from Dhoni. Dhoni was very upset, and this is what he said. Don't call me on this number, please. Sorry, I didn't really have a comment. I just want to do my bad impression. Yeah, so again, nicely tied up by you, Amit, because I think it's the same issue. We put too much stock. It's our own failures, I suppose, all over the world. They put stock into sports teams to make them feel better about themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you have a small penis syndrome. So then you feel better because somebody else is representing you with a bigger one. Well, yeah, I've read this in Adler, a psychiatrist who was a friend of mine who's dead 150 years. But the point is, I just think that we put too much emphasis on what they are doing and forget that they and us are not the same.
Right.
While they represent India, it's a sport and they probably do their best. If they don't, that's their problem will be dropped at some point.
Yeah,
right?
No, exactly. I mean, there are selectives and stuff like that.
Indians and Pakistanis, maybe Sri Lankans don't get.
Right.
I think that's what we are. We're extremes of emotions. Either we're gushing with love and we're just like, oh my God, like I will give my life for you, or we're like, we hate you, we'll burn your house down.
He attacked his house in Ranchi, literally, in 2015.
Exactly.
And he was a semi-finalist, and he's a wonderful cricketer, a lovely man. He's a dog lover, which puts me on top of my list of favorite people. So it's ridiculous.
We're extremes. We're either like super full-on
So we've got a solution. Dhoni becomes Prime Minister because he stays here more. And because they're similar. And the people will continue with their prejudice. And Namo leads the cricket team.
That could work.
Third man?
That could work.
I think so. That's far away from the action.
Solved everything.
You get my gag? Third man? Far away from the... everything's happening. Okay. Alright, sorry. Sorry, I had to pull it out that way. Thought cricket now was May, you.
Yeah.
You're named after the season. Cricket season is May.
Really?
Yeah. In England at least. Our home country. Our motherland. Who taught us how to speak this language. And now they're trying to speak like us. Because you know what we've done to London. That's another story. My friend Kunal always says, he goes to London and he's like, I can't believe it. Everywhere Indians. Even Madame Tussauds, now we're inside the wax part. You know, before we were once watching. But now there's Aishwarya Rai, Amitabh Bachchan, Salman Khan, it just goes on.
Oh man, I was on the tube once and I swear to you, forget someone speaking in Hindi or Punjabi. I heard like these two guys talking in Malayalam.
But with the twang? When they speak the vernacular,
like proper hardcore, like, and I was like, "Fuck, I feel I never left." Only,
you're like, why here? I just want to go somewhere where people are different. Yeah,
as a Gujarati, that is not possible for me.
Not possible. Let me tell you, when I entered the airport at Sao Paulo, I can't forget the first two gentlemen I met were Gujarati from Mumbai. I mean, it was like I was in Walkeshwar. I was like, I've come for 22 hours and here it's back to Jiten and Suresh. Yeah, that's fun. But that's the good part of India. We've gone everywhere and we've shown.
Yeah.
Some other tribes have not. They've started wars. So in a sense, we're good. We're merchants. We spread the message of commerce. I love, one thing I really like Indians abroad. The ones who have settled already, not the ones who go visiting. I hate those. But Indians abroad, I think they've really, they put up a good fight. You know, they've established themselves, whether it's medicine and all the stereotypes, but also in businesses and all, they put up a really good fight and they're immersed in cultures. Every country, if they could speak, without worry about racism, and because ultimately, when you're pro a race, you're also anti a race.
Right.
If they could speak freely, they would say, Indians, well done, report card, good stuff. Where we get in trouble?
Yeah, for the most part, yes.
Okay, a little bit of white-collar crime and all that, but that's all part of the intelligentsia we give them.
Yeah, well, I guess that's true.
And we break etiquette, of course, opening doors for women and all that. I mean, that's never heard of. You go back in time, we didn't have doors in India. Go to Mohenjo-daro. There's no door in Mohenjo-daro. Everything's open. It's a public bath. You want to pee, you pee.
That's true.
And if a woman's peeing, you just push her out and then pee. If you're really bad, you just pee. Why are we discussing this? Can we get back to the subject? Cricket. Yeah, so cricket, lots of things to discuss in cricket. Virat Kohli taking over. DDCA ends the year for us. The scam. But I think now it's this...
but that's, again, negativity, right?
Kind of
it's just,
finger pointing.
It's, that's the political game, right? I mean, what the truth of that is, who the hell knows, right? I mean, it's just about...
I can't believe in India there's an association which isn't corrupt, to be honest.
I agree with you.
I'm not saying who is corrupt in the association, but I think by and large, you give power to Indians in India, and we tend to corrupt the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's why everybody assumes that everybody else is corrupt as well, because most people are corrupt.
There you go. It's like how we run the show here. These mics aren't ours, for example. Nobody knows that. Okay, those guys leave, we take the mics, we use it, we put it back, we don't pay rent.
There's actually a theory...
Amit is ignoring me. He's like, what if they think it's true? Namoji will say, get that boy on the podcast.
But there's a theory about corruption, right? In terms of what are the prerequisites required for corruption to exist?
Smartness.
Yeah, so one of those things is that you feel like if you get caught, it's not like a big social thing. And that's the case in India, right? I mean, like, everybody
assumes... It's almost like glamour.
Yeah, everybody assumes everybody is corrupt.
You know him. Well played. Something like that.
Exactly. Harshal Mehta, well played. Ketan Parekh, wow, that was a smart way to do things.
So everybody's thinking, why did he get caught? Nobody's thinking like, oh, what a bad guy.
What a bad guy. Exactly. It's so...
But let's face it, if you join ISIS as against a white-collar crime, what will your parents be more comfortable with?
Well, that's you
have two sons. One is in, Syria with an air gun, idiot.
And the other guy is scamming people on the stock market. I guess scamming people on the stock market.
You should see my other son, Kirti. He's very good, He's in jail, but he's very good. Sorry, let's move on. That's we're bored of the topic. We went from cricket to I don't know why Kirti came into it. Kirti Azad would have been better, but we moved.
Oh yeah, okay. That kind
Mohenjo-daro comes into play because we go back to the Vedic era, where apparently in the beginning of the year there was a mention that aeroplanes and all were very much discovered.
Right? That was brilliant.
Presented to the world from our part of the world.
Yes,
by
they
our
had a big
ancestors.
Conference, right? Like this college in Kalina.
The scientists turned blue. There were scientists at the. Let's understand the scientist stereotype, and it's a true one. Is a rational thinker. I hate to use this word because that means you will be killed in India. A rational thinker who's divorced from religious beliefs. Most of them, and I have lots of science friends, you won't believe it, but divorced from religious beliefs. They're very straight in their thinking. That's the way they are.
Yeah.
They couldn't believe that they had to listen to this.
Exactly. And I mean, it's the kind of nonsense that is just...
there's no feat of engineering. It just was there.
Yeah, no, it was astounding, right? I mean, they were talking about ancient planes, they were talking about ancient spaceships. I mean, like...
But the only thing we can give them credence on this is that Air India may have been invented then, because the planes are like really old.
But yeah, that's... Okay, yeah, I can see that.
This is the big thing that everyone feels there's this like tide that we're regressing back. That every, like, whatever...
But there's a stupidity and banality involved here. Come on, for God's sake. We're just progressive India, and then you can't just superstitious and suddenly try to and give it a religious twinge. Unnecessary.
No, same with all these books that are all these educational books that Dinakar Batra. It's like, he's
changing history.
Changing history, right? I mean, like,
okay, Aurangzeb was here at this point.
I mean, like, it's just knowledge is knowledge, right? I mean, like, you got to let knowledge come from the people who are experts in this knowledge.
You have to give the devil his due. If Imran Khan was a great bowler, he was a great bowler.
You
can't say Imran Khan ठीक है यार Indian wicket में कुछ नहीं करता है.
Exactly.
That's not the way to think.
Yeah, no, that's
exactly. They were talking about the actor who's not such a good bowler. There's always confusion with names. Yeah. So give it. I think the devil should be given his due. And in India we have lots of devils, so this will take a long time. We have a separate show just for the due thing. Moving on to topic number 64. Oh, we have to take a break right now because you talk too much, May. You got to cut it down.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I'm going to take away 1 month. You're April. Just for that. We take a break, we come back.
You're better than this, Cyrus. It's a terrible job.
I'm so sorry. We got 11 more months now. I've done June already, so 10 more. Take a break while we count.
Cyrus says, stop picking your nose, listen to this ad. India's first storytelling podcast is out now. You can download Tall Tales Takeaway on our website, indusvox.com, or on your favorite podcasting app on iOS, Android, and Windows. And that's what Cyrus says.
We're just discussing here, Cyrus says what a nice name May is.
Thank you.
And also because of the practicality. I think the modern world, as I break my mic because of the drugs I'm on, in the modern world, one syllable names are the key, man.
The easy.
For global success.
My grandfather called me May. He was... he had a secretary in Hong Kong called May, and then he was also a huge fan of this actress called Mae West.
Mae West, of course. Yeah. Is there a gun in your pocket? Or are you happy to see me? Who doesn't know that?
Thank you, Grandpa.
Yeah, that's one of her famous statements.
Was it gun
May
or
was
pickle?
Your grandpa? What are you saying?
No,
was it gun in your pocket or pickle in your pocket?
Gun in your pocket.
Gun in your pocket.
What do they know about pickles, those Americans?
I don't know. I thought it was a pickle in your pocket.
No,
man, you Gujaratis, you got to twist everything.
I know. Pickle in your pocket.
That's why I thought it was so absurd, right? I mean, like, it's an absurd thing they say.
Gun, pickle. Man, really, this is the Vinod Khanna version of the same thing. You changed the whole thing. But I was just thinking, when my kids were born and fighting with the wife, I was like, I don't mind if you call them 1, 2, whatever, but just single name, single thing. So anyway, you go to Korea and it's like May. How hard can it be? They go May, depending on the cultural intonations. But by and large, can't mess up her name. No, but 2 syllables, Amit and Cyrus in another culture.
My name
half an hour. Amit.
Yeah, I mean, that was the constant.
Hey, but my name gets messed up too. People keep calling kids spelled M-A-E. People call me Mai.
No, I thought the biggest problem with you is that if you give your name as May, they say May not. Just to be like
or
irritating.
June, or where is July? Have you found August yet?
All that nonsense. Yeah, that's not fun.
All them jokes.
Really. And if you were a little more informal, you'd be Can. So May is more like a formal way of saying the same thing. Like, I mean, you're taking it further. The poet that you meet from time to time. They say, I'm Virus. You know how many people didn't call me Virus? I mean, that never ends. and they all think that they're Premchand when they say it. Virus! Like, yeah, I rhymed that. Wow. Thank God my name isn't Duck.
What's the genesis of that? Is it just because it rhymes?
No, there was also this character, Cyrus the Virus, in one of these films, played by John Malkovich.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
What is that guy's name? I forget his name.
It was one of the movies where he was a king.
Yeah.
I guess.
The Godfather's nephew. Francis Ford's nephew. What's his name?
Nicolas Cage.
That's the guy.
Oh, yes. The Con Air.
Con Air.
Con Air.
An airline which operates in India, by the way. Let me just add. Yeah, a lot of India bashing. Whatever else comics, we get off on it. But I think it has to start at home.
Yeah.
As a comedian, you can't make fun of your mom, your dad, your country. I mean, it starts there. Your country, your community. Of course, here you do it and run. Elsewhere, it's like, he's so funny, he's Jewish, he's one of us. Well done. Let's all do Hava Nagila. with Bhangra, because the world is global. Where were we? Sorry, Amit, our topic?
I don't know. We can go anywhere we want to. Should we talk about movies and stuff like that?
Yeah, because
we
pop
can look
culture,
at
May is the young one here, Amit.
I know.
She brings a belly button to the show to begin with, which is lovely because I can't find mine and you haven't seen yours in 4 years. So it's interesting that May, you bring that to a non-visual medium. But go on.
Sorry.
Lighten our show up a little bit and you reverse age
like
us.
Miss Columbia now.
No, reverse age us. Yeah.
So big movies of the year. We were having a chat about this actually.
Yeah.
So,
And not that it's so easy to just Google and find out. We've done research by going and seeing these damn films.
So Star Wars obviously is like the big grosser, but
have you seen the porno version in the 90s which came out?
In the 90s?
Just you.
Or WHO.
There's a new Star Wars porno version, I'm sure, pretty every other year.
Same special effects, I gotta tell you. And that Han Solo and his laser. Boy, that guy, I tell you. Sorry, let's get back to the main one. So it's broken all records, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. And then we've got like Avengers, Age of Ultron, which is pretty huge.
Well, the Star Wars movie is supposed to be really good too. I saw it. I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes, like 96% fresh,
Really?
which is a big kind
Which
of.
is a
So
amazing.
that's like the highest ever?
I mean, like I've barely
It's
seen
pretty
anything
good.
that.
So what's the conflict and all is fine because everything remains the same, right? In this?
I have not seen the movie yet.
No, is it a prequel? Is it a sequel? Is it
No, it's a
different?
sequel. It's after.
It's a sequel. It's actually
after Return of the
after.
Jedi.
Yeah.
It's 20
Okay.
years after Return of the Jedi.
20 light years? 20 normal years? Or
Light years is a measure of distance, not time.
there you go, Amit. I stand corrected, but of course, standing will take me half
Beautiful.
an
I
hour.
think it's my favorite moment of the
Yeah,
entire movie.
May smiling is
I am
orgasmic.
so happy right now. You
Is
can
that
find my
true
belly
about light
button.
years?
Yeah, light years is a
Yeah.
measure of distance, right?
Why can't I say I'm 3 light years away?
But you can say you're 3
can
light
say
years
you're 3
away,
light, but
but
that
you can't
means
say I'm
that-
3.
But can't they be the same thing? Time and distance?
Well, I mean, like
In a sense, they are.
They are. Time and
That's a good
distance.
comeback, Brocha.
Time and distance is.
Even nobody else believes it.
Well, I mean, like when you get into quantum physics, time and distance do.
They said,
do
"Brother,
merge
you don't
into
talk about
something."
the word light, all right? Not in our tribe.
If we're talking about time, space, distance, and all that, it's 100 years since the theory of relativity.
Since Einstein
really?
permed his
Okay.
head.
Yeah, it's 100
wow.
years.
And it disproved in 1992, so that's how many years? 24, that's right.
It wasn't disproved
So
completely,
challenged.
right? It was challenged.
By my cousins.
It's the same way that Einstein challenged Newton.
E is equal to MC squared. In Punjabi, you know what MC is. Hello. Come on. Come on. MC, BC. We have our own scientists. Come to Chandigarh. I'll show you. Sector 54. I invented relativity, yaar.
I think this is
Sundar,
of course,
come take the mic.
Relativity was invented in ancient India. It was.
There you go.
It's in the Vedas.
It was just after the plane or before? No, the helicopter. That's a relative term. Exactly. Yeah. So be careful, Amit. We are Walkeshwar boys. We can't go anywhere.
So there's another thing that people, in 2015, everyone called it sort of regurgitating older films like Mad Max, which was a great film from the 90s.
But what? 90s, 80s?
Mad Max was the
Maybe
80s.
Oh, it's 80s?
80s. So you're looking at almost 2 generations later.
I think,
Yeah, so
they
they're
were the
all
Mel
like-
Gibson movies. They all came out before Lethal Weapon, which is
Yeah, and so
85.
Mel Gibson,
Gibson was
not
also in that
insane.
movie.
Mel Gibson normal, and there's Mel Gibson insane. So now you need to redo it because he's lost his
I mean,
mind.
this movie was amazing, right? This Mad
Mad
Max
Max
movie
was
was
insane.
that,
Yeah.
I think best movie I saw this year. I mean, it was
crazy.
literally like a ride.
Well, what's
right?
the story in 3 lines? His name is Max. He's mad.
Well, so this movie is more about Charlize Theron, right? I mean, like who is
Who used to be a woman.
a woman.
Well, I'm just asking because it's part of the story.
No, so
I'm light years ahead of you on this one. I can tell you.
she's a warrior who lives in a community, and she escapes with the head of the community's 4 wives. And she's trying to run away with them, and they
And
find
it's in this,
Max.
I could go more erotic with this one,
dystopian
instead of
universe
getting on a
sort of
bike and
thing.
riding.
Yeah.
Why go Gary Lawyer when you can go
Still,
erotic?
that flaming guitar on the
that was
truck was
amazing.
just insane.
It's one of the. I mean, you should see it if you haven't. It's like one of the coolest movies I've ever
I don't know if
seen.
I can sit through anything more than 11 minutes now. I'm just thinking.
That's
My attention span is just gone for a toss. And have you noticed how you fast forward things now? Everybody was watching recorded programs and all that. It's all boring. But you still like the show.
The 20 seconds.
Have you guys seen this Neil Patrick Harris show which is going on at the moment? I followed about 30-40% of it, but I still like the
Neil
show.
Patrick Harris show?
Yeah, it's called the Neil Patrick Harris Show.
Okay, I have not seen
You're
that.
making this up.
No, I'm not.
I did
It
not
has
know
another
that.
name, but I forget it.
I will look it up. I shall look it up. I'm
Also
a fan.
this year, 50 Shades of Grey. That's all I'm
50
saying.
Shades
I have
of
no
Grey.
words. to even say?
About, suppose I've read a few of the pages because, I got the book from Penguin. They were nice enough to give it to me, Random House actually, and only because I'm a male, so they read it.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing is about male domination and S&M, and from a male perspective, so I was thinking, that's not going to happen to me. What's the point? I'm the one they tie up. What's the point of, you know? But how many women are quite happy with this whole sexual fantasy? Let's ask May. May is the only woman here. Amit.
Thank you.
May, what do you feel?
It's a terrible
Let's look at the dynamics of sexual exploitation or role playing.
It's a
What do you
terrible
feel?
book. Like, really awful book. Like,
So
one
you
of my
don't
friends
like
was
it?
like, "Oh my god, you really like it?" And I'm like, "No."
But 80% of the buyers are female. So what is the reason then?
Probably more than
they
80%.
do empathize with it. Come on, just tell us.
If you-
and forgive the salivating Amit and Cyrus thing because we are professionals.
I said, but that's how I think that's just. I don't even understand because for me, when I read it, it's just a shitty.
Some
piece
sense of
literature,
subjugation
and it's
of
just
women
like-
if you want to make it political. Have you read the book, woman?
I have read the book. My point is, like, then you can look at any book. Like, look at any book. Like, look at, like, whatever books that are out there that have subjugated women.
Yeah.
It's a story.
It's just a story.
Okay.
Fair
At the end
enough.
of the day, like, people can, like, you know, they might
And
be
a
like,
woman has written it and she's bold enough to write it. We should respect that.
Agreed.
No? Is it a woman?
It's
Just
a
initials.
story. See, at the end
I
of
don't know
the
if it's a
day-
woman.
No,
So
it is
initials
a-
are
it is a
woman or
woman.
man.
It's a
It's
woman
a woman,
who...
but
It was a woman. But after the
this
Charlize
was-
Theron incident, yeah.
This was initially supposed to be Twilight fan fiction.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, that's
It
how the
was.
whole thing started out,
I
right?
thought that was very tame.
Well, Twilight, but fan fiction, right? So, I mean, like, in fan fiction, you can go...
Anything you want.
You can do
Yeah.
anything you want to with the character.
She was an unknown writer.
She was an unknown writer. She wrote these Twilight fan fiction stories, which got really, really
I
popular.
mean, you really like your porn, man.
It's not porn, man.
You
It's
surface, you search
education,
everywhere.
dude. It's reading about
Yeah.
books.
Okay, just a little information for those sex-starved madmen out there. Don't buy that book because first 25 pages, nothing happens. Okay, I marked the pages, so you take my book.
No, but
It'll
like,
save
if you
time.
look,
16 minutes, the whole book.
If you look
Yeah.
at most, I mean, if you look at, like, I mean, this is a terrible example, Mills and Boons or whatever it is.
Mills and Boons are a terrible
Women
example.
love-
Lots
no,
of people.
women-
It's a bit like Twilight thing because everybody writes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole point is when, as a woman, we like storylines and we like suspense
How can you
and a
represent all
build-up
women?
and all that kind of stuff. Guys are like, Jack, now! Oh, give me now.
I don't know if that's true. I'm quite the romantic.
Then
I'm almost.
you just
I'm
totally
almost.
sidelined this
I'm more of a
entire
woman.
thing by just saying that, you know what, 12 pages, nothing happened only.
But I'm just saying that for the audience here. But I'm more female. I'm a very romantic person. Don't judge by my clothes. There are flaws everywhere. I could show you, but you'll file a case in car and then I'll have to come here every day. So I can't do that. Let's
Once
move
a
on.
week is enough, I guess.
One book is enough. We're not a very educated society. Leave it. They don't have a movie or a short
the
Instagram version. Who cares? Yeah.
Also, Oscars this year, too white.
That is the critique.
But that's always the case, right? I mean, like, is
but
the
they-
Oscars ever not too white?
No, but I'll tell you what, the year before, what was it? 50 years a slave? Wasn't it? Sorry.
11
was
years,
it
12
13
years.
or
a slave.
12 years, so
12
sorry,
years a
12
slave.
years, 50 Shades of Grey is stuck in my head. 12 years a slave, I mean, that was...
No, but so there are
But that
every
was a
so
black-oriented film
Yeah,
which
every
did
so
well.
What
No,
film of the year?
No, but
Yeah,
so
but
every so
every
often
year they
there
won't
will
have a
be one
theme.
like that, right? I mean, like every so often there was Django
This is
Unchained
not-
a few years
Django
ago.
as well.
May,
yeah.
you think this is Benetton. This is not Benetton. It's not like United Colors. Whatever comes out, comes out.
Are you-
But I think the bias is real.
Yeah, I'm a South Indian man.
Yeah, the bias is
I am
real.
United
If you look at
Colours.
12 to 14% of the entire population being black, then the representation, mathematically, you can argue about these things. But all said and done, it is a white country. And that's the
It's
majority.
a sort of white country, right? It's less than 50%
Well, the Hispanic
white
population
country
will
at this
become,
point.
by 2040,
Right, at this point it's less than
will be
50% white, right? I mean, like...
Is it?
I think they just crossed
What about
over.
if you're tan, like in the sun and stuff? I mean, does that count?
Well, then, I mean, like, you're still kind of sort of whitish.
Don't answer that question. Amit. We
Wheatish.
don't have time to answer questions.
Wheatish.
Anyway,
Then
so the whole
next
we're
thing-
avoiding this whole white thing, right?
Well, I mean, there's not
Talking
that...
about men and women, though, besides white,
Right.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Nice. Now, here's my point. You're, in 1980 or 84, you're the greatest athlete in the world, bar none, because you're a decathlete champion of the world.
Yes. Right.
Which is all the sports together. You're running,
Yeah.
jumping, this, that, lifting. So you're the absolute alpha male athlete, the epitome, the zenith of male creation in terms of physical prowess. And then I think it's a fantastic story that he goes from there to, I was never happy being a man. Except when I threw the spear. For some reason. So I was like getting rid of my manhood, but it's gone. It was like, metaphorical. But that was it. And then to go from there to there, fantastic. And then become more interesting than the rest of his family.
Yeah.
Who are all
Which
such
are
great
all-
achievers. If you look at the mother whose name I forget, and the one with the large hips, and the other daughter who's bigger than her, and the other daughter whose name I forget. But the point is, he suddenly became bigger news than all of them.
Yeah,
or she. What is it wrong to?
It's she, I guess.
She prefers.
She is.
But also, this is another thing that it's not just the male and female thing. It's also that he's in his mid-60s and he's made this decision.
Wow.
It's just like you're never
Gives
too
me
young.
hope. Yeah. Something to do in my 60s. I was just thinking, what if I make enough money? Then what do I do? People don't think about success can be a real headache. So then, you can change your sex and start all over again. Yes, I am now Rubaina. I'm available for parties. I do anchoring and I may sit on your lap. Sorry. Let's not make light of the situation.
Regardless whether you're a man or woman.
No, not make light of the situation. He's a tough guy. All said and done, he's a tough guy, girl, whatever. To go through all this, it shows the toughness of the person.
Exactly. It's not
and
something easy to do, right?
Yeah, no, but it was really bad. He got so much backlash for it. And why?
Well, he got so much support too, right?
It's his...
that's true. There was also...
It's his or her
life.
You guys forget that when she came out, who came out? Ellen. Everybody thought her career was over. Because that was like a wrong time. But the support she got and her career just went off.
Yeah.
But that was
stratosphere.
When Ellen came out, that was a very different time too, right? I mean,
exactly.
but I'm saying nobody thought she'd survive that.
Yeah, no. I remember when she came out. I mean, it was a huge
I know. I used to fantasize about Ellen. Now I do more because she's gay and men think.
And married a Portia.
Lovely looking girl, really. Amazing, but then if you're Ellen and super successful, you should get the pick of the litter. That's the capitalist society way. As I tell all the people I date.
She's actually Portia Rossi is really, really funny, right? I mean,
she's hilarious. She's so good.
She's in one of my favorite shows, Better Off Ted. Have you ever seen that show?
Yes.
I've seen a couple.
I think that's one of my favorite shows ever. I wish that.
I wish
she's genuinely funny.
I wish we could share it with everyone, but it's an audio thing and we're all going to sleep here, so what's the point? Better Off Ted. Who is this Ted, yaar? No. Moving on to topic number 32.
Might as well talk about television shows, right? I mean, what are the best TV shows that we shot this year?
What was your favorite?
My favorite TV show? Oh my god, that's going to be a tough one.
Go on. Speak your mind. Don't have to.
Okay, so but I go way back though, because I watch a lot.
Countrywide Classroom on Doordarshan. My favorite.
So I started rewatching a lot of older stuff like The Wire.
Oh yeah,
The Wire.
That's
The Wire is one of the greatest.
Allag Wala Pathshala. Have you guys seen?
Dude, you haven't seen The Wire?
Early 80s.
Seriously?
No.
The Wire is considered the best thing ever put on
TV
film.
You think?
Made.
A lot of people consider it. I won't argue too much with it.
Go out there and watch The Wire.
Okay,
so I started rewatching some older shows, but then I liked The Good Wife. That's
a great show.
My mother watches that all the time, and now I realize I am my mother. You know how that happens? You become your parents? Because she and me watched The Good Wife. Nobody comes in our way. We hit our own children. Well, we don't have children together, so we just apologize. My children, we hit when they come in the way. We throw things. Awkward moment number 79 on episode number 50 of Cyrus. Next subject.
So I saw Master of None this year. I mean, I thought that was a really
Aziz Ansari. And he released a book on romance.
Yeah,
the ugliest man to ever do that.
He had the book and he had the stand-up special, which was really good too. Right? So part of his stand-up special was where he was doing crowd work, right? So essentially, he would just go in and ask people questions and
So what I do also, so you don't have to work.
Pretty close.
It's the best thing to do.
Pretty close.
New anchoring.
But I thought the Master of None, the show was actually really, really well done. And they had this.
And his father-in-law in it, apparently.
He got his
family members.
He put his father and mother to play his
Indian.
parents.
Father's a doctor, you make him an actor. Only we can do that.
Father is in it as an actor, mother's in an actor, his brother is a writer on the show, so he's made it into a family.
Did you ever see Jerry Seinfeld's real father on any show? Or Arnold Schwarzenegger's mother featuring in Terminator? No. But Aziz Ansari, Indian.
Family factor.
Every Indian member of his family is in the show.
It's a family business.
There are no white people left in the show now. There's a case filed against them.
So that's actually one of the interesting things, right? It's one of the most diverse casts ever. It's like they have a token white guy instead of a token brown guy or black guy.
This is a sign of the future.
So...
or Canada Today.
But it's a great show. They have this really interesting episode called Indians on TV, where they talk about basically who are the Indian people and basically what are the restrictions Indian actors have, what kind of things they have. So, I mean, I thought that was pretty interesting too, right? I mean, they had this thing where there can't be two. There can be only one.
One Indian.
One Indian at a time on a show.
Who's against that policy? Oh, right. I mean, that's terrible. That's so discriminatory.
If you're an Indian actor, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible. Have they heard of Dolly Bindra, for example? We can send them some of our TV stars.
Okay.
I'm thinking Big Boss, we can send 50% right now. And then they can have 2, 3, 4, whatever.
I saw 10.
Or they can close their borders. Donald Trump is right. What can we do then?
I was watching a bit of Big Boss last night, and I mean, if that was a visa application, the borders would be closed.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Well, let's talk about Big Boss for a second. In some ways we have, we've got this stand-up comedy happening on one side. You have shows like Office about 10 years ago, which are very progressive, I would think.
Really
very well written. There are a few shows like that still. And in vernacular television theatre, there is. But when you go back, we still have shows like Big Boss, where we just seem to reach it's the dumbing down of everything, just dumb. Why?
So, a friend of mine who is actually watches a lot of normally watches really intelligent stuff, he watches Big Boss regularly. He has it all recorded. He watches it whenever it comes, he watches the episodes all the time.
They're just having pretend conversations about bitching.
Yeah, he's like, it's just fun to watch people act like complete and total morons.
And I know some of these guys who appeared on Big Boss. I know them personally. I'm like, they're not like that at all.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
You saw Navjot Singh Sidhu, it was a performance. Vijay Shetty, performance. What the hell were they doing?
No, but I think that, it's, they record 24 hours and they just show you an hour, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like that, you can get to pick and choose a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think the guys who go on, they also ham it up, right?
They ham it up. They put on characters. It's terrible. When you and I go on Big Boss, all we're going to do is hang out, alright? I'm going to give the most boring Big Boss ever, where we look at each other and do nothing. Which is marriage. We'll find out one day.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I couldn't. I think I only watched ever one Big Brother, and that was that Shilpa Shetty one that happened.
That's the London version, which is just the English version of the same crap. There's not much different.
And even then, it is mind-numbing to say the least.
It's terrible, right? I mean, like the whole idea,
why can't we have a Big Brother where we have like physicists and something like really intelligent?
So Socrates and Plato having a conversation, playing football in the break.
Beautiful, and then give them challenges, for I'd rather watch that any day.
You're right.
We all say that, but at the same time, there's a reason why Big Boss is as popular as it is, right? People watch that shit.
It's awful.
I think we need to Big Boss up a show. We need to get people who are really stupid.
You know what? I'll never talk to you ever again.
And I'm just saying, relatively, again, theory relatively applying again, 100 years of that, relatively more stupid than me. We have to get the right people. Amit, start the search now. You're light years behind. I want you to go now.
Need to find stupid people. I shall do that.
We'll do a quick ad.
Should I throw a stone somewhere?
If you're out there and you're really dumb, really stupid, contact us on...
where should you say? WhatCyrusSays@gmail.com.
WhatCyrusSays@gmail.com. It's pretty simple, but you're stupid, so we'll say it slowly. WhatCyrusSays@gmail.com.
Yes. Send us an email, and then we'll call you on to be our stupid
relatively more stupid than the host show. So please, if you're dumb, come. What? That's not dirty. That's normal. Look, when you do voice, please understand, guys, when you do a voiceover, you have to put on your voiceover voice.
Right.
I do it automatically. If they ask me to take the mic and say, make an announcement at a club or something, I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why. You can't do this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
You gotta do like
the rage.
Sick society.
No, but then I do the
ourselves.
sexy voice, like, hi.
That's really nice. Can you do it again? Then I'll try and answer. Let's see how sexy it sounds then. Come on, May.
Hey, Cyrus.
Hey, May, shall we take a break?
Sure.
All right. Clothes optional. Break starting now.
Cyrus says, ask me anything. If you want Cyrus to answer your questions on air, send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com. If you send us a link to a sound file on SoundCloud, we'll even play you asking the question in your own voice. And that's what Cyrus says.
Okay, so here at the AMAs, I had to stop them talking all at the same time like class children. My God, these undisciplined Indians. That's my word for when I don't mean Indians. Okay, we've got the AMA, and this time it's something serious, guys. Just read it out. Have the guts.
Okay, so...
Be open. Be fair.
Really?
Be just. Be tall.
Awesome.
Be positive if that's your blood group. But tell us something.
I'm A positive.
I don't care.
Okay.
I would care if you're on the road and it's an accident and then we suddenly figure out who's A positive, who's B positive, who's not good with details. What's the question?
Okay. So, Kiran asked us a question. What is your biggest achievements in 2015?
Are you making fun of Kiran, sound engineer?
I am. I couldn't help
Shah Rukh Khan.
That was my Maharashtrian accent. Was that good enough?
I don't know what accent that was. It was slightly Malayali for a second and then it switched.
Say Malayali also.
No, I like the language, so I say Malayalam. I know all the bad words, by the way, which I can't say on air.
Don't say that.
Okay, so what is the question?
What is your biggest achievements in 2000? Cyrus.
To me?
Of course.
Yeah, I think I was able to... I actually shaved without cutting myself for the first time in March.
Congrats.
I do remember because I have a hurry issue. I'm always early and I run away as fast as I can, and I don't know why, but I'm always in a hurry. So what happens is when you shave, simple things like that, the mirror gets fogged up, and that bothers me because once it gets fogged up, I can't really see, so I just go for it. And I don't use electric razors because of reasons I can't explain. Mostly the fact that technology challenges me. And so I didn't cut myself once. Just once.
Yes, that's really good.
For me, it's big. These personal things mean a lot. Like also for once, I open the lift door at the right time. I always open it early. Because I'm always in a hurry. It won't happen to normal people, I know, but there are people like me who have hurry gene. When you have a hurry gene, you don't know why you're in a hurry, but you're in a hurry. You come out, you're in a hurry, you die. And everybody says, why was he in a hurry? Could have lived 2 more years.
You should wait for the lift to get to your floor.
Did you leave halfway up a floor and then you climb onto the
There's
next
no lift available. All these things, I mean, I can't tell you. It happens all over the place, man. Opening doors and all. I'm always first. People have fallen out of the car all the time because they haven't exited and I've started. I mean, I'm talking about old people. I just had to, reverse and kill them because the pain was too much. But these things happen when you're in a hurry.
Okay.
I think I'm done. Let's move on to question number 2.
How about 50 episodes of the podcast? Isn't that an achievement?
Now that's an achievement to be proud of.
Yeah.
50 episodes of the podcast, which
I would have been more proud if you kept me in South Mumbai. But honestly, it's been good fun. I think we're a good team without getting emotional. And this is the fastest work I do. Okay. I don't think anything is this quick.
Really?
My wife will tell you that back in the 90s.
I was waiting for that. You're so predictable,
when she saw
Cyrus.
somebody else. Yeah. No, but I think for me, the hurry thing is the great thing. So when things go right, because of the fact that I'm always in a hurry, I'm really happy. Thank God I'm not a pilot. Thank God I'm not a gynac. Thank God I'm not a taxi driver. I mean, not in charge of trains or all the government.
You're not in charge of anything that needs time to do.
The Olympics would be 2 years early if I was in charge of IOA. It's bad. Amit, next question.
Sure. The second question is, what are your New Year's plans?
Me or everybody? Or let's
ask everybody.
Me, what are your New Year's plans?
I'm planning to sit at home and just
stop acting so people feel sad. Oh, you're young and single. Why?
Amit knows this. We've been invited to a party. When they find out I'm not going to come, they're going to kill me when they hear this.
Why? Is it the Congress?
No, because a friend of ours and someone that we're working with is basically invited us to a party that I've just said, yeah, sure, I'll try my best.
But
and
why
then
won't you
I'm
go?
planning to just not talk to anyone. And just
I wish I was single so I could go to your damn party, but I can't. So why can't you go? Vicariously for me.
I want to go to the party. I want to, my 30th birthday was my big bash this year.
You're against 31st? Like you're one of those, you'd say
not
it's
at
bad?
all. I love partying, but just
so
can I spend 1 year where I'm just chilling and doing nothing?
But why?
Why not?
We're Indians, we do nothing all the time. Why do you want to do that?
No, I'm not. I do something all the time.
What's so bad in partying? Come to our age, be 44. Have things falling out of your body, and it's not just hair now. Just think about it.
My 30th
Don't
birthday
let go. You're only 30. You're at the peak of your life. Everything's working. Your mind is sharp.
All the time. I'm partying on the 30th and the 29th, 28th.
Do you? Does your hand shake so much that you miss the switch when you put the light on? So don't worry about life right now. You're only 30 years old. Please have a good time.
Clearly, we know what's happening in your
Take a break in your 40s. Yeah, we have the electrician all the time.
I don't want to take a break in my 40s. I want to take a break right now.
I don't get it. Amit, what about you?
It's a friend of mine in their building. They're having a party, so we'll probably just go there.
What is it? What, you could pay marbles?
No, so they have so he lives in one of those buildings with a clubhouse and all that kind of stuff. So
are they going to be girls?
I hope so.
Booze?
Yeah, that for sure.
Music?
Absolutely.
So no marbles.
No marbles.
Marbles when you get back home and find you're alone again.
That's
right.
That's when I'll play with my marbles.
There you go. And now I'll tell you what I'm doing for New Year's. Me and my lovely kids and my new puppy and the wife, whose name I forget, will be in her house in rural India, Maharashtra somewhere, where I'll have to cook, clean things, listen to everything she says. No escape. Now 1.7 acres of prison.
Okay.
That sounds lovely.
And all I do is look out of the window and wait for the mongoose. And they visit once in 10 days.
Is that really a thing? You have mongooses?
Mongooses are very social and they're the best fighters in the world.
They are.
The weasel family is the number one fighter in the world. It's my favorite animal. Yeah. The Wolverine.
Oh, so
those
are awesome
family. Badgers, all of them.
Waiting for your mongoose.
Have you seen them? Have you seen them with a cobra?
Yeah, you should see those videos on YouTube. Holy crap.
Unbelievable. I wish I was a mongoose, honestly. Sometimes I look at the mongoose and say, switch. And then they do like potty and walk off. So their comment is clear. Yeah, but that's the domesticated way, and hence I tell you, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's good too, but don't be alone. Alone is not good.
Why not?
Alone is good only if you smell. There's a guy in my gym who smells, and if he ever hears this, please.
Am I not allowed? This is you know what?
Yeah, you are allowed, but I mean, it's, why?
You're 30, look at us.
Yeah, why?
I have been,
partying non-stop.
Yes! This whole year. And I just want one day, and I decided to pick 31st.
So you sit alone?
Yeah.
And then what do? You watch telly?
Yeah, probably.
And then you have a shampoo? What's fun thing to do then?
No, I haven't decided yet. Am I supposed to decide now?
Get a man to come over and feed you grapes from height.
Like who?
You know, and you try and catch them with your mouth and not drop them. It's like a sport. I do that when I'm alone. If I can find a partner, I'm like, throw grapes in my mouth.
What?
And because we're not worried about hygiene, if they fall on the floor, the same grape goes back. Now that's grape with the G, so don't get worried.
Okay, I got one last question for you. Is Subramaniam Swamy the equivalent of Donald Trump in India?
Good. But the biggest problem for me with Subramaniam Swamy is his daughter used to work on the same channel as us. Lovely lady. His wife is Parsi. Lovely lady. Leading lawyer. Very sharp man when you talk to him and all that. But seems to have agenda.
Yeah,
it's like this. I think many males around the world have this ego problem. They want to just fight back because there's some lack of self-esteem somewhere where they just want to attack people.
I think
and
he's
prove
taking
themselves.
Revenge for the last 40 years, right?
Yeah, it's too much. It's Badla gone to square root number 80.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. He's written the book on revenge, you're right. And I'm a little tired of it, frankly.
Same
I wish he would be more funny instead of being more so aggressive. I think there's enough aggression in the world. And not all the cases are warranted. Now, I understand that we have this case, the Nirbhaya case, I might as well call it Jyoti, the Jyoti Singh case at the moment, where people are emotional about the whole juvenile issue. And it's ridiculous that the guy's going to get away. And apparently he was the worst of those, of that group.
Yeah.
But if the law says that he's a juvenile, what can we do?
Exactly.
We live in a... Either we have rules or we don't have rules, so we have to go back to the legislation and figure this out. And that's what I think the government is trying to say.
I agree with that too, right?
I guess it's easier to say when it's not your daughter, and it's easier to say when it's not your friend. So.
But I mean, like, the fact is that there is a juvenile justice system, right? I mean, like, there are juveniles.
Any civilized society will have that.
Yeah,
we can't judge a 12-year-old and a 22-year-old in the same way.
Maybe there
except in the under-19 Delhi selections where they are the same.
But maybe the juvenile system needs reform. Maybe it should be that you're over 16 as an adult. Maybe
they say the law is an ass, and by that they mean the animal.
Right.
And so sometimes it does appear like that. But you know, I mean, at the end of the day, there are other crimes, okay? A guy picks a pocket. He's 14 and a half years old.
Exactly.
I can't put him in jail for 3 years or send him into a system for 15.
No, but this is the thing. This is the extremity of this case.
Maybe the judiciary has to
painful
find
for people.
No, but see, you can't. A law is a system, right? I mean, like it needs to apply to everything.
It's a huge society. You can't just get up and say, okay, change now. It doesn't work.
No,
because that leads to capriciousness.
People who are trying to change it. Like, for example, there's that law that you're
looking sorry.
Married women where there was year
so you're looking at a reverse pardon. Okay, let's call this like a reverse pardon. We have a system where we allow clemency and pardon, right? We're using governors, presidents, etc., etc. So we have a reverse pardon where we can allow maybe one figure, like a president or a chief justice of the Supreme Court or a collection of chief justices or from whatever, to come together and say, okay, in this particular case, we don't go to the legislature. We are allowed to use this power of.
Yeah, but I disagree with that.
It's anti-democratic. End of the day, either you have it this way or that way. You can't, once you start putting that in, there'll be more and more of that. And
then, needs to be a rule. It can't be based on an individual whim or
I'm saying
all
the activists have to fight in the legislature.
Yeah,
go back to the Rajya Sabha where they held it up. Go back to the Lok Sabha where they have everybody on their side. And get the law changed to say maybe 17.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's a good argument because 17, 18 kya farak hai, honestly.
Well, I mean, like, you need to figure out at some point what is going to be a juvenile, what's not going to be a juvenile. Maybe there is a way that you do a thing where you determine whether somebody is a juvenile.
He can go back to society after what he has done and have a job in my father's law firm and live a good life and marry some poor girl and have children. I mean, it is disgusting.
It's not a good situation, but I don't know what the options are.
You're right. So thank God we're not the government.
Yes.
And thank God we're not the social conscience. Thank God we're not the keepers. And thank God we have hair fall because that bothers us and we have to deal with it. And that's all on Cyrus Says. Our guest today, May, and Amit Doshi, our producer. May, of course, is now the highest paid woman in the radio universe. Just pretend it's true, because what you say happens.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Okay, now Santa's coming, everybody, so give him some space.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
All views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the views and opinions of the Indus Vox Media Network or any of our show advertisers or sponsors. No animals were harmed in the making of this podcast, obviously.